What's up guys, my name is Wale Olawoyin, known as Wale The CEO. So, Wale is a full-time entrepreneur. I am a real estate agent, so I help people buy and sell houses. I am a business owner. I own a video production company, and I also am a part owner of a stock market educational company. So I've always been fascinated about real estate. There's been a lot of times, let's say about 5-10 years ago, where I would see a new construction being built or I would see a new development, and I would just find myself driving around the area and just observing and just looking at how, the houses are being put together. And I started thinking about how can I transition into, making passive income whereby I don't have to, physically work to make money. And that's how real estate came about. Because I want to be a real estate investor, I want to own properties. And, my strategy is to start as being a real estate agent. So right now I'm a real estate agent, and in about the next 4 or 5 years, I'm transitioning into becoming a landlord and owning multiple properties. Transitioning from filmmaking to real estate has actually been a big advantage for me because of my years of experience in marketing and video production and photography as well. It has allowed me to leverage and market my real estate properties in a different way that other agents cannot. Right now, the market in DMV is hot, like blazing hot, in the sense that it's like being in a car auction. That's why I describe the DMV market. We're seeing buyers going 20, 40, 50, 60, even $100,000 over the asking price. And that is the new norm. For example, if a house comes on the market for $400,000, we know that you have to put $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 into the market. So it is crazy, but crazy is the new norm in this market. So when it comes to real estate, the buying and selling process could actually be very tedious, right? And that is why buyers and sellers hire a professional, to get the job done. So when it comes to the selling side, so there are two sides to these transactions. There's the selling side and the buying side. When it comes to the selling side, the seller, finds an agent, and then, the agent will help list the property. And before listing the properties, one of the things that I do is, we have to inspect the home. Sometimes we might have to fix a couple of things, maybe do new paintings, pretty much get the house prepared so that we can get the highest value out of the property. And then pretty much after that, we'll put the house out on the market. After that, on the buying side, the buyer contacts an agent. I want to buy a house. The buyer gets pre-approved. Then the next step is for us to do showings. We show a couple of houses, sometimes 10 houses, 20, sometimes 50 houses, depending on what the buyer is looking for in a home. Then right after that, we'll find a house that we like. We'll put up a contract to purchase the home. Once we go on a contract, the next thing is to do inspection. So it's very important to do inspection on any home that you're buying, so that you can know, what is wrong or what is right with the house. And sometimes we're able to back out, if we're not satisfied with the inspection reports. Right after the inspection, the next stage is appraisal. We want to make sure that the house gets appraised. Well, the lender wants to make sure that the house gets appraised for the value you're purchasing it for. So let's say, for example, you're buying a house for $350,000. Well, the lender is going to say, how do I know that this house is worth $350,000? So they will order what is called an appraisal, and an appraisal will determine the true value of the property. Then, once the appraisal goes through, the next stage is to close. And the home buying process takes about 30 days, sometimes 45 days, depending on the buyer's qualification. And the selling side, just takes as long as the 30 days as well. Buyers and sellers, find me through a lot of medium, a lot of different sources. A lot of past clients recommend me, because I do such an awesome job. They recommend me to their friends and their families, and also social media. So I'm always updating, people on what I'm doing every day, especially when I'm doing a showing or if we just close on the property. People, find me through those mediums. So the property value varies, based on the state. DMV composes of DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And depending on what area you are or your proximity, like for example, in this property, we're close to the White House, right? So in DC, in most cases, you're really buying the land. That's the way I describe it to people. When you buy a house in DC, you're really buying the location, versus actually buying the house. So, houses in DC tends to start from 800 plus. 1 million, $2 million is a normal average price of a home in Washington, D.C. Now, when you go to Maryland, it also depends on what area you're looking at. If we're in Potomac, Bethesda, Chevy Chase, those also are a little bit in the millions. We have places like Bowie, where we're seeing an average of like 500,000. In Landover, we're seeing an average of 300,000. And in Virginia, it's a whole nother story, okay? So Virginia, we're looking at millions as well. Like, we're looking at condos, of $2, $3, $4 million. So it all depends on the area, but essentially, Maryland and Virginia tends to be to the roof, to the infinity when it comes to their prices. So when thinking of buying a house, my biggest advice to people is contact a real estate agent first, right? And so that, because you need somebody to guide you through the entire process. After that, it's always advisable to check with a lender ahead of time. So when you're thinking 6 months, 1 year, it's always good for to talk to a lender so that they can actually look at your profile and tell you what you need to work on. It's not advisable to wait until you think you're ready, because when you think you're ready, a lot of times you find out that you're actually not ready, right? So there's a couple of things that the lender looks for. They look at your credit score. They also look at your income to see how much you're grossing every month, every year. And also, they're looking at your debt to income ratio. So your debts are things like your student loan, car note, personal loan, things that you cannot get out of, right? They're not looking at your utility bills or anything like that. So that's why it's very important to check with the lender ahead of time, so that the lender can tell you exactly what to work on, so that by the time you're ready, you will actually be ready and you will have the best interest rate. So I'm reachable on every social media platform. On Instagram at Wale The CEO, on Facebook Wale Olawoyin, pretty much everywhere else Wale Olawoyin, Facebook, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere you're at. My final word is, don't wait till you reach a certain age, to buy a property. Pretty much don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. You can use real estate to generate income. You can make real estate as a side also, even if you're not looking to purchase it, live in a house right now. You can always buy an investment property. There's so many ways to, there's so many ways to real estate, and all of us should always be thinking of real estate. That is the best way to build wealth. It is the best way to pass something down to your kids. So don't wait to buy real estate and wait.